Hey, I'm Mary Beth, and I'm going to show you guys how to plant garlic today. So a couple things about garlic in and of itself. Over the years, I've probably grown over 20 different varieties of garlic. The most in any one season was 12. I grew 12 different varieties of garlic in my garden at once. There are a lot of different levels of flavor. Some are more spicy, some are more savory. There's definitely a difference in strength between different types of garlic. So it really is up to you about your preference. If you like strong flavor or some more subtle flavor, if you like more savory, if you want a little more of a kick, and what you're cooking it with as well. So that's one of the reasons I have different kinds of garlic, because I use one kind of garlic for pesto, I'll use a different kind for marinara. Garlic also comes in soft neck and hard neck. I grow pretty much exclusively hard neck garlics, but you can see some of them here only have a few large cloves. Some of them have a whole lot more. You can have anywhere from 4 to 14 different garlic cloves in a bulb. And they also come in different colors. I'm not sure if you can see the color on here, but once I open this up, you'll be able to see that some of these are purple or kind of a blue or reddish pink tint. Some are just white. Some have a very silvery. Now that I've got this bowl opened up, you can really see how beautiful this kind of reddish color is with these cloves. So some of you may be asking, hey Mary Beth, where did you get these beautiful garlic cloves? I actually got these from a local farmer's market earlier this summer. Garlic is usually harvested around July, sometimes early August, but usually in July. So you can get them from the local farmer's market. You can also order them. My favorite places to order garlic cloves from, or garlic bulbs, are from Seed Savers Exchange, which is in Decorah, Iowa, or Nichols Nursery, which is out of Oregon, and I will put links to both of those seed companies below. What you don't want to do is buy your garlic from the grocery store for planting. So first of all, a lot of the garlic in the garlic store is bleached, and oftentimes, like potatoes, it's sprayed with a chemical that actually keeps it from growing and sprouting, so it has a longer shelf life. Once you start growing your own garlic, you can actually save a few bulbs back from year to year and replant them. So when you're going to plant garlic, my preference is to plant the garlic next to a fence line. I actually had potatoes along here last year, so I took out all of my straw bales, and now I'm gonna dig a trench to put the garlic in. So I have my trench dug. It's about 8 or 9 inches across and maybe 10 to 12 inches deep. So we're planting garlic here in October. This is the week before Halloween, and it's gonna stay in the ground over the winter, so you wanna make sure it's warm. I plant garlic about 5 inches down. The reason why my trench is much deeper than that is because I have a very high clay soil in my garden. And so what I need to do is pack something more loose on the clay soil underneath of it so that the garlic has room to grow. I have a bunch of old straw bales that I'm going to be layering several inches in the bottom of the trench. If you don't have straw bales, what I've used in the past is you can put the bagger on your mower and mow up leaves and a little bit of grass you have in your yard, and use that leaf mulch to put underneath your garlic, and then also to insulate it on top as well. So now I've put down my straw mulch and I'm ready for the next step. So after I put down the straw, I get some nice black compost, and I'll lay that down over on top of the straw. After I've put down the compost, then I put down some fertilizer. The best thing you can use for garlic, or really any type of bulb or root plant, is bone meal, or something, or fertilizer high in phosphorus. So I put down a little bit. I'm gonna stir that in a little bit more. And the other thing I'll do is put in just a tiny bit of flower and vegetable even fertilizer that has slow release, like this one, and just put just a very tiny amount. This one on the back. On the back it says half a tablespoon per bulb, and we're actually gonna split our bulbs apart, so we're gonna hardly use any. I might use 1 to 2 granules per clove, maybe 1 granule per clove, and then I'll leave that on there over the winter. But as you can see, this is a 14-14-14, so this will give it some nitrogen and potassium as well. Now comes the fun part, actually getting to plant the garlic. So this is red Chesic garlic. It's a hardneck with a purple stripe. It's robust and very hardy here in the Midwest and northern states. It has kind of a sweeter garlic flavor, and it has sort of a great roasting aroma. So I pulled the bulbs apart. So these are just cloves. You don't want to peel them. Leave them with the skin still intact. So when you plant them, you want this pointy end to be up, and then this little flat end here to be at the bottom. This is where the roots are gonna grow. So you'll see I kind of planted it to one side. I like to kind of plant these in an alternating zigzag pattern, and I'd keep them at least, 4 to 5 inches apart. So you can see, here's my hand spacing. There can be a pretty big difference in clove size. Just plant them individually, not a big deal. So I do have one bulb where the cloves are kind of all dried up looking. You don't want to plant these. These are not going to come back next year. You want them to be nice and plump and have some moisture to them. So I'm going to throw these out, sadly. So now all of my garlic cloves are planted. And the next step is to cover them up with compost again, to put some more good black compost here on top. So I'll put lots of compost on. I get my compost from the county. We get it for free here. You can also get it from places like farm stores, hardware stores, gardening stores, or you can make compost, of course, yourself. I'll put several more inches of this here on top, and then I'm going to cover it with straw. So I've completely filled in my trench with a lot more compost here, and the last thing I need to do is what I call putting the garlic to bed. So you want to put several more inches of straw or leaf compost or leaf mulch back on top of your trench, because we got to get through the winter and the ground can get pretty cold, so you want to insulate it as much as possible, so kind of like a sandwich. So the garlic now has all the straw on it, and it's been put to bed for winter. You can plant garlic in the spring, but I've never had much luck getting a very good harvest with spring planting. They should come up maybe May, and then by June you should have these little green curls that come up on top. They're called garlic scapes. I'll see if I can put a picture here on the video of what those look like. You can actually cut those garlic scapes off and eat them as well. They're really great, like in stir fries. The very last thing you should do after putting your garlic to bed, especially if it's not going to rain the next 24 hours, is to water it. And you can use like a soaker hose, or you can use a spray nozzle. I just happen to have a couple of buckets of water, rainwater, and I'm going to water my garlic. And that's it. Well, thanks for watching my video on how to plant garlic, and I hope you have a great garlic harvest next year. And have a great winter.